Lucas. Hi, how is everyone? Okay, let me share my screen. Nice to see your faces again. Okay, hello and welcome. It's great to be back today in front of all of you again and teaching you once again. I am excited about the workshop. Let's raise our hands or show an emoji to Lucas, who has done a lot of work in this workshop, to just show him how excited we are for this workshop. I cannot see the screen, so my bad. So just before we get started, a small bit of housekeeping, which you guys are already doing. But please mute your screen microphones until you are asked to unmute. Please use the Zoom chat to ask any questions or like let us know that you have understood what we are talking about. And if you drop out of the call, please rejoin using the same link. So today's workshop is all about, I am quickly going to hide my own face because I do not like to see myself when I'm talking. But so what are we doing today? We will be looking at getting and identifying what organization supports you guys need. Why do we want to do that? Because we want to understand how to recruit volunteers and how to find the talent that is all around us. You will also learn how to write a great volunteer role description, and you will understand how to spot talent. So today's agenda. So we will be starting now, and we will be understanding what volunteering is and where you need the support. We will be identifying the spots where you do need the support. We will then have group discussion on discussing what your strengths are as a person and as an organization. We will then go out in breakout rooms to identify the roles that you need. You will also get a 5-minute break because we all know that that is important. We will then write a good role description and and we will understand how to protect the people that are now volunteering with you. We will then break out into roles again and write a job description or a role description in this category to find out how to move forward with the organizations that we are looking to run or already running. We will then go for group discussion again, where we will be spotting the talent and we will be discussing what makes a good volunteer. We will then discuss what comes after this step. So let me ask you this. What is volunteering? Any comments?
Doing some kind of work for free, helping, supporting.
Okay, that's fun. Anything else?
Is it unpaid work? Yes, for good reason, for good cause.
Okay, that's actually good. Anything else? So let me ask this, and Lucas, you can take note if someone isn't saying this, anyone raises hands or emojis. How many people have done volunteering in the country or even back home? Quite a lot?
Yeah, we've got a fair few hands coming up there.
Well, that's good. So we all know volunteering, as you have mentioned, volunteering and volunteers are unpaid members of a team who use their own expertise and skills and experience to help achieve a certain goal, which you both have actually discussed. Ultimately, volunteers are offering their time for free to help you achieve your organizational goals. They're not staff. They are literally not staff. They're not paid to do the work that you have told them to do. This is really important to understand. They're volunteers, but they are an integral part of the team, especially at the start of the journey. You need to set the standards to the volunteers as they look up to you as the founder and your organization. You are their leader. You are what people want to get behind and volunteer behind. You are, and ultimately, this means telling people what they need to do for your organization and for you so that you can reach your organizational goals. Volunteers are your supporters. They are there to help you and your organization succeed. Volunteers are often not full-time, but offer a small amount of their time a week to help you with your social mission. Let's look. Let's look at. We have Merrick, Basil, and Diana right now in this call. My bad. But Sheila, Diana, and Lucas. Lucas is a part of Turn, but everyone else, including myself, we are volunteering facilitators. They are here because they believe in Turn's mission and want to help all of you and Turn succeed. So then the entire nonprofit world does rely on volunteers. Now, why do people volunteer? The reason behind this is that they actually want to, because they either believe in you or your social mission. They want to support you. They want to work with you. They believe in you. They want to be a part of something which is more than just themselves and their everyday lives. They want to be contributing towards a positive social change. They want to be more with what is happening. Not everyone can or do, not everyone has a job with a social impact, but they still want to volunteer in social impact, to have an impact on society through your organization. So let's think back to your mission, your vision, and your values. What we have worked, can anyone tell me now why this is so important to have a clear purpose when we're thinking about volunteers? You have been working on this for the last few weeks now. So why have we been telling you guys to have a clear understanding of your mission, your vision, and your values? Can anyone answer that for me, please?
To understand what is important for your organization, to show your priorities, to see whether your ideas and ideas of another person, like a volunteer, coincide, whether he is or she is interested in sharing the same ideas.
That is correct. That is very true. Anyone else?
So if we are very clear about our mission and vision, so we will have the right kind of volunteers so that they will help us to meet our mission and vision.
You both are completely on a roll. That is so true. So you need people to get behind your mission. That's why you need to have a very clear statement. You need to have a vision that in 5 years you need to develop this thing to get onto that level where everyone knows where you are or where you have come from. You need these two things. And so if I was to volunteer with any one of you, I would want to know what you stand for, where you want to be. And if that align with me, my own vision, my own values, I will come with you. I will want to give you my time to help you get to that point. So the main idea is that this helps you align with the volunteer's vision and values. Without your values, without you knowing where you stand, the volunteers will not know as well. And therefore, it will not work out the way you want it to work out. What is really important is to now start thinking about how people are now going to be behind you. You are the leader, as I have mentioned before, of not just the organization, but the people who are going to come and follow you. You need these as guiding principles, and the volunteers want to hear or see them. And through your organization, they will then make a difference. So then, how can you achieve? So then getting good volunteers, it really does help you to achieve your organizational goals. We have understood that. They can help you grow and become bigger as an organization without spending too much money, because we all know how this is in the beginning. And then it can also help you become better. Volunteers have the skills that you might not have, which we will come back later on to discuss. This can help you and your work become better. I have actually seen this happen over the last few years as well with our organization. I will come back to this in the next few slides. So now I know sometimes it can be really hard to ask for help, but this is part of the journey. I always think of this animation as a really brilliant explanation of what is happening in the organizational terms. Here you are at the start of the journey, let's say right now. You're trying to go towards your goal, which might or might not be. But for me personally, it might be to get to that level where I have a more stronger setup. But pulling this wall down on my own is going to be hard. We all agree with that. So you can ask for help. Asking for the help is not a weakness, but it is far from it. It's actually a massive strength because it will help you achieve your goals, and also we cannot do everything ourselves. We need to get a bit of help along the way. Trust me, I know it took me a very long time to understand, but I know. What you will find as well is that people are actually happy to volunteer. They are happy to help you because they want to. So you can start building a team around you through volunteers. But this team has to have somewhere they are going. They need to know what they are doing or who they're volunteering for. If they're going to stick by you, stick with you, you need to have a real clear mission, vision, and organizational values for you to get behind. But you also need to identify what exactly it is that you need help with. You cannot do everything, remember? So this is actually a really nice quote which fits in really well with this presentation. Service to others is the rent you pay for your own room here on earth. People want to volunteer. We have already established that. People want to make a difference. People want to have something to get behind. People want to make a positive change within their communities. You can help these people achieve that through getting them to volunteer for your organization. So the first thing for you to understand or to analyze is your strength, but also areas where you need help that can make you and your organization stronger. This is the first part of knowing your organizational role, in recognizing where you are really good and where you need support with. For example, maybe you're really good on speaking to people, communicating, but you might not be really good with social media. Why don't you find someone who is brilliant at social media? to come and volunteer with you and the organization. So let's do a little case study on my own organization. We at Aspiring Dreams, I set it up as a sole person. So I will be discussing my own strengths, my own weaknesses, along with the organization's strengths and organization's weaknesses. The strengths for Aspiring Dreams was that we are great at public speaking. We are great at maintaining the agenda and organizing the meetings that we have to hold. We are good at making and adhering to policies and procedures to ensure that everyone is kept safe, and safeguarding is a key attribute for us. We have a great community that wants to support us further with our work. They keep on coming and asking if they're volunteer roles. And moreover, we have stories of the community that we have supported, and they keep on giving and giving to further out in their communities as well. These are all of our strengths because we have given the people that much independence in their roles. They keep coming back as well to us. Now, with our weaknesses, as you guys would have seen by now, I tend to speak with a lot of passion, which does not give me a lot of time to write what we have spoken. So therefore, we lack someone, we lack at the minute a person who can actually take minutes of our organization, of our meetings. We lack the administration part of things like emails, keeping up with emails, setting up different tasks for the day. And one thing, as I have mentioned from personal experience, social media. Our social media is completely out of the window right now, and we're trying to recruit someone as a volunteer who can do this. We are also looking into volunteer recruitment and policies as we speak, because our policies needed to be revised. So these are our weaknesses and our strengths. And one weakness that has not been mentioned over here is actually my own personal weakness, that because I am so passionate for this organization, I fall weak when it comes to writing things down. That's why I need a volunteer to actually take this into consideration. So now, because you guys know everything that I have fallen back on, we're going to start discussing about you. We will go on to breakout room for the next 15 minutes, and we are going to discuss what your strengths are, and based on your strengths, where you might need support. We thank Bridget Suholo, Diana, Lucas, and well, you can see myself on the screen, who will be facilitating 4 different breakouts. So Lucas, if you can send us 2 breakout rooms now.
Great, I'm opening up. Please accept.
So we're gonna start looking at what we have discussed as a group. We understand what our strengths are and our weaknesses are, and we're gonna now turn them into actual roles. We're going to start working on a new tool today, which Lucas will be sharing now. We are going to start filing out examples and areas in the worksheet that you will work out. You will be working on this worksheet. And we are going to start by writing out the actual roles that you would need to work on. We have made these examples for you, but these are just examples. You can change this to whatever you want. It is to give you an idea of what you need help with, what you think you need help with. So you can think back to what you just did, like in the breakout rooms right now. And knowing these things will help you also know what needs you have and what expertise you require. You will then need to think of what this role will, according to you, what this role will help you to do, what this volunteer will be doing for you. This is just brainstorming right now of what you expect. You will then think about what you will do, what expertise you are looking for in the volunteer, what skills and experiences will these volunteers need to have to fill these roles. For now, we're only focusing on the first 3 areas in the next breakout room. So moving forward, I will give you my own example as well. Working on this sheet, I realized the roles, as I have mentioned, as weaknesses. I have worded out the roles that I require. For example, admin. A lot of people in my group did mention that admin is a bit lacking. And IT skills, for me, that comes under admin as well, which is the whole of the email, taking minutes, it's bookkeeping as well. What skills and experience they need is IT, communication, minute taking, Microsoft Office, as mentioned. We're not looking into the next 2 categories, but similar to this, we have done the following. Because my organization is more focused on people from forced marginalized backgrounds, including asylum seekers and refugees, and helping them get back into education, we wanted people who were expertise in that field, people who we have previously helped go back into university starting this year. This is, we expect the people that we have supported, who have lived experience and who are now going to university, to have at least 1 hour session, or depending on the sessions that we run, it's 3 times a year. So roughly 3 hours to have open conversation with the new people who want to go into universities. The skills and experiences we require the people to have is A, lived experience, and B, they are going to university or they know the scholarship processes of applying to university. The same goes for the next 2 categories that we have identified about community engagement and marketing. Again, our social media is completely out of the window right now. We do not have anything on social media. A, we do not have time. B, we do not have the expertise of, as someone who's studying storytelling right now. So that is something we are looking for. So let's go back into breakout rooms now. So this time we are going to be in the breakout room for 30 minutes. We will be working on that worksheet. We will focus on what volunteer roles are needed in your organization. We will be looking into what might these volunteers do for you according to you. And lastly, what do they need for this role so they can do it properly according to you? Shall we go into breakout rooms again, Lucas, please?
Yeah, great. I've just shared the link. If you click that link, you will be able to find your worksheet, a very cool new tool. And if you can't find your worksheet, ask your facilitator. Okay.
So now, is everyone back? Yep.
I'm back. Everyone else back? Everyone back? Thumbs up, waves.
Yeah, I'm back too.
Okay, great. I think so.
Perfect. So now that we have identified where you need the volunteers, but how do you actually find these volunteers and how do you recruit them is the next big thing. You need to tell them what you're looking for. And then these volunteers need to apply to be a part of the organization. You don't simply just bring anyone in, you need to bring in the right people. So the art of finding a volunteer, how do you do it? First of all, you have to write a role description. You need to tell the volunteers what you are looking for. You have to start identifying what it is that you are looking for in the worksheet. You now need to make something public facing so that the people can see the role you are posting for. If they are interested in it, they will apply. As we said before, people want to volunteer, but they need to know what it is that they are doing. And this role description will be their guide to see if they can do the role and if it is right for them. But where do people see this? Much like a job description, you also post volunteer roles and advertise them so that people can apply for the positions. Volunteering is really an attractive position for people. So they are going to be looking for roles actively and they are going to be applying for them. This allows you to see who it is that you want for your organization. And then you make a decision. You will need to review the applications and then maybe interview people before offering them a volunteer role within the organization. You need to think about what actually makes a good application and what skills people need, which is why we did that earlier in the last breakout session. So you can start to highlight what skills you are looking for in a volunteer, and if the volunteer can then provide that skill to the organization. So let's start with role description. You need to write a role description for the volunteers to find you. This is important because the role description is your kind of job advert. It tells all the volunteers or potential volunteers exactly who you are and outlines your organization's missions, value, and vision. Some people can actually decide if they want to volunteer with you and your organization. You need to also define the volunteer roles. What is the name of it? What is the outline role that you're expecting them to do? You want to outline some of the key tasks that they will be doing in this role, so they know what their responsibilities are, but also so you know what they will be doing, so you do not tell them extra work. You also need to know what skills you need for this specific role. From the specific volunteer, sorry, my bad. This will help you when you review an application, but it will also help the people with the right skills and experience to apply. Finally, you need to give them a brief on to how much time they need to invest in the organization. What is their commitment, the location of where the volunteer will take place? Is it online? When is the start date? All of these things matter. People will not volunteer full time, so they need to know how it's going to go forward. Is it a few hours a week, or is it for the whole week? Is it a one-off volunteer event? Your role description is what tells the volunteers what you are looking for in them. What is really exciting is that we do have a role description. Lucas, do you want to share this with everyone, please? Lucas?
Shared in the chat.
You already shared?
I certainly did. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what is really exciting is that we do have a role description, as Lucas has just shared with us. This is exactly where you can write what it is that you're looking for from a volunteer. In this template, we have made it easy for you to write about the organization, about the role of the organization, about the role that you're looking for the volunteer for, the key responsibilities and tasks, the impact they will have, what skills they need, and the location and time commitment and the start date. Does that make sense to everyone?
I just want to say that what you're seeing now on the screen is all in this tool.
So I've said it a lot of times before, and I'm saying it again. You need to keep it simple, and you need to understand that less is more. As simple as it is, it's easier to understand what the job description is, what you're looking for, what the mission, what the values are. But you do need to be specific to get the point across to the people. So understanding that, you might be wondering, where are you gonna actually share your role description? What happens next? Where do we advertise? Well, luckily for us, there are a lot of places. First of all, the internet. Someone in my group was my breakout session, actually mentioned that they also had online groups and stuff. So the internet is actually a really key resource where you can share these things, group chats or other places. But also, there's also this one special online platform, Reach Volunteering. This is a nationwide platform. It's one of the few places volunteers actually go as the first point to find more volunteers that they are looking to do. And you just need to open a free account. Lucas will be sending a link for everyone to open it up, and I will go through it later on. LinkedIn, as all of you would know, is also a really good place to post these roles. People often get volunteer days from work and are looking to do some volunteering, and will search through LinkedIn if you have a business profile. Then you can post on behalf of your organization as well. Or then you can go for local councils or voluntary centers, etc. These are great places to advertise a role. They work with the community and will be happy to advertise your role to the general public. And last but not least, your internal newsletters. These can be on social media, these can be on your website, or you can just send them out via emails. But never forget that the power of your own network and how much people do support you and want to get behind what you are doing. Moving forward. So now so say someone has now seen your role and they want to apply. What is the first thing that you would want them to do, or how would they apply for the role? The most simplest thing, as most of you already know, is to apply through a CV. CV can give you a good understanding of what the experience of the candidate is. This is really important as you want to know what exactly the candidate brings to the table and how that helps you with the organization. Does the skills actually work according to what you are looking for? And the volunteer role, if you are looking for someone who knows a lot about social media, but the CV says that the social media is the CV does not have anything regarding the social media, would you want to recruit that person? These are the small snippets that a CV shows. You will also then ask the person to write a cover letter, which outlines why they are interested in applying for this volunteer role, and moreover, why are they interested in applying for your organization to work with. You can also make an application form, which a lot of jobs are doing right now. You can ask them direct questions of what you want the applicant to have. You need to decide what it is that you are asking the applicant. So for example, social media experience. How many years of social media experiences have you had? How many organizations or companies you have worked for social media? Do you yourself understand what a social media is? Multiple different questions can come into that category. Now this data, I might have missed a slide. 1 second. So now you have this data, and you can, and the people can now fill it out, the application form. But sorry. So let's talk about the Reach Volunteering platform, because we're discussing where to spread the word. This has a built-in application form, so you can get people to answer the questions. Again, you will be collecting data, which is really crucial. The people will need to answer the questions, so you can directly, and the platform will help you get those questions out. But you can also use Google Forms and make your own application form. This is really easy to make, and also a great way to collect data. Again, data, like I said, is really important. You can make it through your Google account. with this example, Turn also has a training tool on Google Forms. So you can watch the recording on this to learn to make Google Forms. Lucas, can you also please share that link? Lucas, can you please share the link for
Yeah,
the...
just finding it now.
Okay, cool. While Lucas is doing that, just to let you know, your Spark officer can also help you to make this tool, to make this form. It's really easy. It takes a couple of seconds, but if you're getting stuck or if you want some support with it, there's always someone like Turn who can help you. And finally, we have, so this is the final version of the template that you can write the questions for your application form. So you already know the questions you want to ask the potential volunteers based on the specific roles that you have wrote on your worksheets, and then add them to either the Reach platform or to the Google form. That is completely your choice. Whichever one you think is better for you, please use that. Then we go forward to the decision. This is the final part of the process, which is deciding who actually gets the position to volunteer with your organization. You need to first review the application that comes in. Many people are interested in volunteering, but you need to decide who is best. You may need to also interview for the position to get a feel for the person that applied. You want to see who is behind the written application. And finally, when you have made your decision, you need to send the volunteer pack and start on the onboarding process. So before you start with the volunteers, which comes back from the onboarding process, you need to understand that your organization needs to be ready and safe and have the right policies in place before you start recruiting volunteers. You need to be able to send the volunteers to the right information that they need in order to protect them and protect your organization. And most importantly, to protect the service users of your organization. If you do not have the right policies or procedures in place, then you could end up in a bit of a sticky situation when times go bad. So we as an organization, we have a duty of care. And as the organizational leader, you have the most important role in the duty of care. To ensure that your service users are, you need to make sure that they are treated well and that they are kept safe. You need to make sure that the staff and volunteers are trained correctly. You need to make sure that everyone is protected. This includes making sure everyone is qualified to be able to work with children and vulnerable people, if that is what your organization does. You also need to treat volunteers well and to go and to good standards. You cannot have them doing everything as they are not members of the staff. They should work within the rights of their role, which you have outlined. Finally, you also, you all do this. You protect your people through clear and well-written policies that you can share with your organization and especially volunteers. So when we're thinking about policies, I know it's a lot to think about right now, but you do need to have policies. And I can say that from our own experience that we are right now reworking on our volunteer policies to make them up to the standard. So here are some good list of things that you need when you're recruiting volunteers. You need to write a clear policy as to how you plan to recruit volunteers from start to finish. What is that you will do? Will you interview the volunteers for a specific role? How will you choose the candidate? Is it important to have a clear written process as to how you plan to do this? What qualifications does your volunteer need before they apply? Then comes the volunteer induction and training process. What training and induction does your volunteer need to go through when they join your organization? How do they get on board to your onboarded to your organization? So they can start volunteering as soon as possible. Then comes in the volunteer expenses. Sometimes volunteers will need to claim back expenses, maybe for travel, maybe for food during the volunteer days, or maybe for something else. What expense do you pay? How much would you pay? How do the volunteers claim the expenses back? What is the overall process? How long does it take? Then comes how volunteers will be managed. You need to explain what volunteering days will look like. Will there be a briefing and a debrief? Or do people just volunteer by themselves? Or if they do, then how do they contact you? If if there's a problem, how will they contact you? You need to think about exactly what the volunteering day might look like. Then comes the most important thing, the safeguarding. If you are working with vulnerable people or children, your organization will need safeguarding policies. A safeguarding policy protects the vulnerable child or adult from harm and abuse and is a legal requirement. What is the process of disclosing information in your organization? Should someone have a safeguarding concern? What process did they go through? Who's the person that's going to be the lead in all of this? Then comes in the health and safety policy. A detailed explanation of how you keep people safe in the workplace. It sets out the arrangements you have put into place to ensure the health and safety of the organization. I know this is a lot, but this is actually really important for all of you to understand what policies you need to have in place. Then comes in the complaints and grievances policy for volunteers. This particular policy allows the volunteer to make a complaint against the organization and outlines the process of doing so. In this policy, however, you can also include how you may dismiss a volunteer and for what, on what grounds. Then comes in the reporting policy. How does a volunteer report to your organization? Either an issue that's bothering them or reporting in terms of data collection. Then comes in fairness and equality. How does your organization ensure that it treats all volunteers with fairness and equal manner? Then comes in the list of roles. What are the roles in your organization for the volunteers? So you can state what they are, what they do, and what they do when they volunteer for your organization. Last but not least, this is the disciplinary procedure. What is the procedure for if you need to launch an investigation into a complaint or a misconduct, and then you need to potentially dismiss a volunteer? You want full transparency for your organization, so you can always make sure you and your people are protected. So these, like I said before, this is a lot of information and we do not expect you to remember everything, but please do scan this QR code. We have made an entire page full of information which you can go back and see at a later time when everything is not as overwhelming. Please scan this and visit the volunteer policy page. Lucas can also put this into the chat now.
I've shared that. Bookmark that page. Has everything Aruba just mentioned in there.
I am going to stop sharing my screen so I can share with you the role description that I have recently made for the volunteers in that we are trying to recruit. So this is the volunteer policy that we have made. Sorry, not the policy, sorry, the role description. We were looking for someone who was a volunteer speaker, and we wanted someone to have lived experience. That was the specific thing. But as mentioned, we then looked into what other details that the person should be responsible for, which is their own presentation, the connection building with the cohort that we are trying to support, who understands the scholarship opportunities, therefore the lived experience. And we also wanted to ensure that the person knew that this could be an in-person or an online engagement. It would be dependent on what we are trying to deliver. This would also mean that we wanted to have a minimum commitment of 4 hours per the speaking arrangement, which meant working on their presentations, understanding how to work on how they publicly speak, and then finally give a 1-hour session on the topic. We also wanted to make sure the person could collaborate with the program organizers, because not always will that person be with the same person. So the qualifications were also a key skill for us, which meant that the person should have excellent communication, public skills, public speaking skills, should be relatable, because we want someone who can speak from experience of what is happening, and who would also be committed to our mission, which is exactly what the point that we have been mentioning. The person needs to understand the mission, the values, and the vision. We then wanted to look into the requirements of the role, which is again, which overlaps, but at the same time clearly indicates that we want someone who has lived experience, good communication skill, understands, or at least is working towards a really good public speaking skills, who the people or the cohort can relate to, and who has a commitment to education. This was one section that we thought we should have, which included the benefits of being a volunteer with us, which was to give them an insight of how their work with us would actually be recognized, and how their work with us would actually make a positive impact. For this, we then said that we would be offering training sessions of going through the materials, with the training sessions, with the mentorship opportunities, and they can schedule the sessions according to their time. And yeah, and then we also made an application form, as what we have mentioned before. So this is one of the ways that we could probably approach more people or share the job role. The other way, which I wanted to show all of you, was the Reach volunteering. So let me share my screen again, which is this one. So again, this is a website, simply reachvolunteering.org.uk. Now, I already made an account, so I'm just going to log in, but you can just simply join their community as an organization. So this is the dashboard, and because it's from an organization, you would then signpost people to that job description page. But what actually intrigued me was this one particular thing that I wanted to show you. So I can recruit volunteers, the most simplest thing. So I am specifically looking for, this is the most convenient example that I've heard a lot of people say, but social media. And it doesn't matter where the person is located. They can be in London, they can be anywhere. So I am happy to work with someone who works remote, as long as they can volunteer remotely. So it gives me a list of different people who can fit into that criteria that I'm particularly looking for. And once I have that, I can contact the volunteer and take it from there. Does that make sense to everyone? I think I've confused everyone.
No, that's all good. Makes sense. I think everyone wants to get into it.
Yeah, it's either that or I'm just gonna think that I confused everyone or scared everyone. It is a lot of work. I can completely understand, but it will reap out its benefits. So now I've shown you two different ways of advertising the job role. One other way I am looking for is to work with the community voluntary organizations in the Northeast to share what roles are open for the people to volunteer in. And we are actually talking to a few people as well who might be interested in volunteering down the line. But anyways, that's enough about us. So now you're going to get stuck into this role description. It's time to start writing. Lucas, if you can please share the role description template.
Yeah, in the chat.
Perfect. It is entirely blank, and you are going to be using this today. Think about what you put in your worksheet. My suggestion, open them side by side. So in this first breakout, choose a volunteer role you want to focus on, whether it is IT related, whether it is admin related, grant writer, anything, just pick one. Then highlight the key duties and responsibilities for the volunteer that you want the volunteer to have. Then look at the skills and experiences that you think that they need. And finally, what is the time commitment? How much do you need them to volunteer? And with that, can I ask Lucas to send us to breakout rooms again, please?
Yeah, questions and role template is in the chat. Everybody head out to the breakout rooms. Hey guys, just very quickly before we crack on, Aruba keeps sharing screen, but one really interesting thing that just Fuad, where are you? There you are. Give everyone a wave. Has just discovered, which is crazy, is that ChatGPT or Google Bard, they're very happy to write these role descriptions for you, and they're very happy to do a pretty good job as well. And then we went one step further and we saw that these AI tools actually can write a grievance policy, they can write a safeguarding policy, and they basically, what they're doing is they pull the templates for you from around different organizations. So you just say who you're working with, what you're doing. So Fuad said he's working with young people, and they pulled this information from other organizations and they made a safeguarding policy, and then you just had to edit certain areas and you can go through it. So yeah, talk to me and Bija Saholo about that if you need some help writing some policies using AI. Anyway, back to you, Aruba.
Thank you. And that is actually some really key information, you guys. That's a cheat sheet. We all should be looking forward with it. So I won't say welcome back because Lucas already welcomed you guys back, but this is the last section for tonight, which is you need to start spotting talent. So like the headline says, spot that talent. So you have now written the role description. You have to now look at different talent that is out there. How do you actually make sure that these talents are the actual good ones that you are looking for? You are now the judge. So we are once again going out into breakout rooms, but after we've seen the case study. So the case study with a round of applause is of Lucas. Lucas wants to work with Turn and he wants to mentor for Turn. He's really interested in applying for the role of mentor on the Ideas into Action program, which is with you guys, with the amazing cohort. You are now in charge of recruiting Lucas. Yes or no, your decision. You are going to hear 3 different applications, which are all made by Lucas. But which one is the best one? Which one will you recruit? Or better said, which Lucas will you recruit after this? So this time we are going for a 15-minute breakout session. Is that
10
right?
minutes. 10 minutes.
And we are going to have a group discussion on 3 different case studies, as mentioned. I and the other facilitators will read each one to you, and after each one, you are going to say what you like about the application, what you didn't like about the application, and which application do you think wins the whole competition, which Lucas will you actually appoint for the role. And then I want to hear a reason which Lucas you chose and why. So yeah, that's all. And Lucas, for the last time, can you please break us out into breakout rooms?
Right. Enjoy the role descriptions. Pick the right Lucas.
Thank you for reminding the AI for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great, Suraj.
Yeah, that's really helpful. I forgot about it.
Okay, guys, talent spotting. So, Lucas wants to volunteer with 10. There's 3 case studies. He wants to volunteer in the Ideas into Action program as a mentor, okay, specifically. So let me read this first one. Hi, I am interested in applying for your volunteer mentor position at TREN, the Entrepreneurial Refugee Network. Your social media looks cool, and I now have lots of extra time to do good things, like volunteer. I have a lot of experience in everything, and I love social media. I have my own private accounts that have a lot of followers, so I think I could work with a refugee and teach them social media. I have worked for 6 years in London now, but I have some extra time to be a good person. Can I apply to the digital business space? I don't think I need to learn so much, but I love talking to people, so I am sure I can learn some things. Bye, Lucas Farthing. What do we think? What do we think of this application? What do we like about it? What do we like about this guy first?
It's fun.
He's fun. It's quite friendly.
Fun, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
friendly, right?
Yeah.
Pretty friendly chap.
Yeah, with a lot of experience.
Yeah, got 6 years in working in London for 6 years now. Okay, that's good. Yeah. What's not so great?
You didn't tell us what.
Spelling.
Yeah, I didn't say the job role he's been doing for 6 years.
That's it. No information there. And what did you say, Zainab?
Grammar. So,
Grammar,
mhm,
spelling. It's a big one.
yeah.
Obviously, sometimes people's second language is English, and that's fine. People might make mistakes, but this
Yeah.
one, a pretty, TREN, calling it TREN. You're applying for a position there. You don't want to get the name of the organization wrong and having a typo and quite informal saying like hi. Anything else?
It's really funny. I think like Lucas in this case are applying for like mentor positioning, and he has like a big experience and he loves social media. So like different kind of like
Yeah. He's talking about wanting to be a mentor and is amazing, wants to be a good person. So there's a little bit of a kind of saviory complex going on here as well. Like not really sure what he means by that. That's a bit weird. But
Yeah.
also he says he doesn't need to learn anything, but he's never mentored before, doesn't even mention it. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, well, let's move on to Lucas number 2. Whom it may concern, I am interested in applying for your volunteer mentor position at TERN, the Entrepreneurial Refugee Network. I really respect your mission, vision, and values. My name is Lucas Farthing, and I am a university student studying refugee entrepreneurship at University of London. I am in my 3rd year and have some time now to apply my theoretical knowledge. Although I have never supported anyone to start their own business, I have the willingness to learn and make sure that I ask lots of questions and do the research to find the answers if I don't know something. I am excited to learn more about your community, to not only develop my skills, but also to work with budding entrepreneurs and to meet people from all over the world. I have previously worked with asylum seekers in London, where I was helping with some light casework through a placement in my university. Please see my attached application form as requested. I look forward to hearing from you. Many thanks, Lucas Farthing. What do you think of this guy?
Like it. He's very
You like
forward.
it?
Yeah. But
He's serious.
Serious, okay.
yeah.
What
He
else do we
knows-
like? Let's focus on the positives. I'm going to hear the buts in a second, but what's good? What's good about this? You got this. What are you
Yeah.
thinking?
He has all the format, and he's studying this refugee entrepreneurship, working with refugees. Yeah.
He's took the time to mention what he likes about the organization.
Mm.
He's linked it in with the little experience he has. He's willing to learn.
Yeah.
And he's proofread his letter, at least.
And that's the big one, right? Is showing and trying to link it back to what the role is as well, trying to link it back.
Yeah.
So even
Yeah.
if you do have shortcomings, they're showing an effort to link it back. Now, what would your not suspicions? That's the wrong word, but what would your hesitations be about giving this person the role?
A lack of experience could be.
Yeah, exactly. They're a student, so they don't have any practical knowledge
Yeah.
on it. They haven't done it themselves, so maybe a lack of it. Anything else?
It might just be a CV thing. So they might just want something to put onto their CV, but not necessarily have an in-depth interest in the course.
And that is the hidden one here, which is really important, is with students and with people that are really, really eager, don't have much experience, they sometimes want to tick the box of getting it on a CV. And I promise you, you will find a volunteer that will work with you for one session and put it on their LinkedIn and put it on their CV, and you will never hear from them again. Exactly right, Zainab. That is the hidden one. Is like somebody that is that eager and that keen, and actually like, you know, why they like they're looking for it is interesting, but it could be a CV one as a hesitation. Not to say that's the case. Far from it. That's not the reality. It's just to say, be careful when you're looking at people's CVs, when you're looking at the applications, consider every aspect or possibility, which is also why you want to meet people and talk to them in person, because you can't get it all from them.
Sorry, Lucas, where is the hidden? I couldn't find it.
It's not hidden. It's just it's hidden in the sense that like
in the
the
context.
scenario of this person when I was writing this was exactly that. It's somebody very young. It's somebody with a lot of theoretical experience, but not somebody who has practical experience. So why are they actually doing the volunteering? Are they doing it for a CV tick, or are they doing it for the, you know, because they really want to make that change?
Thank you.
Okay, example 3, quickly. To whom it may concern, I am interested in applying for your volunteer mentor position at TURN, the Entrepreneur Refugee Network. I've been following TURN's work for a number of years, and I am excited that this opportunity to join as a volunteer mentor has now come up for Ideas into Action. I really respect your mission, vision, and values, and believe that I can be an asset on this specific program. My name is Lucas Farthing, and I have a lot of experience in supporting people to start their own social businesses in London. And I would like to now work with refugees and apply my knowledge to your community members. I've worked for 6 years in a social media marketing company and have many skills which I can apply to the digital business space. I'm excited to learn more about your community, as well as potentially working together more and applying my skills in supporting refugees to start their own businesses in London. Please see my attached application form as requested. If you need anything extra from me or have any questions about my experience at Ask, feel free to get in touch by email. Best wishes, Lucas Farthing. Any thoughts on this one?
Great.
This is great.
Yeah, they know the history of your work, the development of the programs, the idea into action, TURN.
Covered all
They
the
really look
bases.
interested.
Exactly. Anything else?
Though he's got experience, he's highlighted it's more in the digital world.
Mm.
And that's an interesting one because I actually see that as a real strength when I look at applications. Not always, but you know, he's got a lot of experience, but has said, I want to apply this to your community. I want to learn. I don't know. I've never done that before, but I want to learn.
Exactly.
And that can be as powerful as someone who's worked for, you know, who knows everything sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
People willing to learn, who are hungry and want to learn. And
Yeah.
look, this person made a typo, but you know what they're trying to say, right? If you need anything extra from me, I have any questions about my experience at Ask, feel free to get in touch. They're just saying at all, but they've just made a typo. That happens. It's not the end of the world. We don't need to say like never going to get a position because of that, right?
Yeah.
You look at the bigger sort of picture.
I thought that was the organization's name.
There you go. So
I thought it's like an autocorrect.
It could have
because
been an
it's experience
autocorrect.
at.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you don't know. Okay, so those are the 3 examples. So who are you going to hit higher and why?
Based on the applications, I would take 3.
3, Fuad?
3.
Number 3, Tebebu?
3.
Chantel?
Tattoo.
Number 3 as well. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to go back to the main room. That's just a little bit of fun to like talent spot because, you know, when you're reading the applications, consider all of those things.
Yeah.
All right.
I said I will take 3 of them, you know.
Take 3. There you go.
3 Lucas.
I'm not surprised you.
Welcome back. Welcome back. While I've got you all here on this screen, I'm going to take 2 minutes of your time, but I just want to know, Diana, somebody from Diana's room, tell me which Lucas did you pick? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3. Okay. What about from Aruba's room?
Yeah, sorry.
Who did you
Yeah.
pick?
The same answer.
Number 3 as well. Okay. Anyone else? Bijataholo, your room.
3.
3 as well. We went for 3 too. Okay.
Although we didn't mind giving 2 a chance. You know,
Nice.
because there are some skills there. We didn't want to just throw 2 away, but 3 is okay.
Absolutely. You can nurture people and nurture skills as well, and that's up to your discretion as to, you know, not everyone's going to have every experience ever, and that's fine as well. We can teach and learn. Guys, I'm just going to take over very quickly, but before I do, while I got everyone here, please join me in saying thank you to Aruba and thank you for sharing your knowledge. You're an amazing coach, trainer, teacher, and also great to
Thank
hear
you,
your
Aruba.
journey with volunteers and everything you're doing. So thank you so much, Aruba.
Thank you,
Don't leave
Very
just
much,
yet.
Aruba.
Don't leave just yet, guys. We've got a little bit more. I'm going to be as quick as possible. So could everybody please, just as a final next steps, fill out this financial readiness survey. Please do it by this Friday, okay? Bijataholo is going to put it in the chat. I sent an email about this as well. This is really important because myself and Bijataholo are going to look at this and we're going to analyze the data and we're going to have a session with you in February where we help you think about what style finance you should apply for, okay, based on these answers. And then we're going to make a plan to try to get you some money, right? Last year, we raised £90,000 for everybody in Ideas into Action. One person got a very big grant, but still collectively, it was £90,000 across 13 entrepreneurs. We want to do the same, if not more this year. Would love to be able to help you get grants, help you crowdfund, okay? So this is a real goal of ours. We want to work with you, but we need you to fill out the survey so we know what's best and what areas you should focus on. All right, so please fill that out by this Friday. So it just takes 10 minutes maximum. Business plan review. You would have got a message from Bijataholo, from myself, about all about reviewing your business plan. Bijataholo and I are going to be reviewing this next week. We're going to be spending a week and we're going to be spending an hour, half an hour, an hour on each one. Really looking at detail, at everything you've done, okay? We want to give you feedback. We want to look at it. We want to give you comments that you can take away and you can improve it. I've done that. I did that for Aruba last year. I'm sure Aruba will remember that. But we need you to do as much as possible before Monday the 29th. If you need more time, let us know, okay? But we're going to be spending next week looking at them and leaving you comments. If you filled in everything, you're going to get some amazing feedback and it's going to get even better. If you filled in nothing, we can't leave you feedback, okay? This is a great opportunity for us to give you feedback. So please, 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 please do that. And we are reserving next week to do that. So we're going to be spending a lot of time, me and Bijasaholo, reviewing those business plans. So get them done. You've got 5 days now. Everybody's been working on them. You've got 5 days. That's more than enough time to get about 60-70% of it done. Doesn't have to be completely finished, but try and do as much as you can so that the review is as good as possible. Of course, a session with me and with Bijasaholo, right? We're here to help you. We're here to work with you. We want to help you with all of the complicated things that you don't understand. We want to help you with all the things you've nailed. I've been having some great sessions, but only with about 5 people. So please, if you're working with me and you haven't had a session for a while, book a session. Let's work together, and let's work on whatever social business problem, social business thoughts you're having. Okay, this is our jobs. We love what we do, and also the workshops are now going a little bit quieter, so we're going to have a lot more time to work one-on-one with you. All right, so please book these sessions with us, book these calls. This is what we're here for. Tuesday the 30th of January, Brand Booster 2, very exciting. Anyone who's not got a brand yet, you know who you are because you haven't been working on it. Okay, some people are already getting brands. Really exciting. I know that Zainab is getting one at the moment. I know that Fuad is getting one. They have seen the first iteration of their possible future brand. It's a really exciting process, okay? And everybody gets this as part of Ideas into Action. If you want it, it is with professional designers. It's not with me and Bijasaholo making them. It's professional designers doing it. But you need to come to this session next Tuesday. If you've already started the journey of Brand Booster, you don't need to come to this. But if you're like, I've never heard of Brand Booster in my life, I don't know what this workshop is, that means you need to come to this next Tuesday, 5:45 to 7:45. You are going to be learning how to start your Brand Booster journey so that we can make a template to give to a designer so that they can make you an amazing brand. It's a really cool session. It's a great workshop, but also the brands that are built are really, really beautiful and they're really cool. And it's a back and forth. It's not, it's not final. These are professional designers. They know what they're doing. So please, Zainab, yes, go ahead.
Does that mean I can't come?
I mean, you can if you want, but you've already.
No, I've already got. Is it will it be doing what we did?
It'll be doing the Brand Booster template that we did. So you can come if you want, but you've already done it.
Oh,
so you don't need to.
Fine. I'll have a day off.
So, yeah, that was the recording I think I sent you. But we've already handed yours in, so you don't need to come.
Okay.
So and did you like your brand so far, Zainab?
Yes, I still have to send you the feedback, but yes.
There we go. So Zainab's had a mock-up and we're going to do some feedback back and forth to the designers. Next up, we have in-person workshop. Really exciting. The next time we meet, guys, is going to be in person. How wonderful is that? In person, 10 to 4, we're going to be looking at presenter confidence. How do you actually present what you're doing to people, to a group? Okay, it's a really exciting part of the program, and it's starting us to think you've got your mission, you've got your vision, you've got your values, you've got what you're doing. Let's go and tell the world about it now. So if you are in London and you're coming to London, it will be Tuesday, the 6th of February, Shoreditch Exchange. It's not going to be at King's Cross. It's going to be at the Turn office. We can't use the King's Cross building anymore, sadly, but the Turn office is great. Closest tube is Old Street or Hoxton Overground as well. Okay, that's from 10 to 4. We expect to see all of you there who are based in London or just outside. If you need help with travel or transportation, please email Cyril from Results CIC. Bijasaholo has popped that in the chat there. If you need the email, you're not sure, or you don't know whether you should be in London or Manchester, just send me a message privately and I will let you know. Okay, and if you are in the Manchester group, we'll see you Thursday, the 8th of February from 10 to 4 at the same place that we met last time, Bridge 5 Mill, closest tram is Holt Town, lovely little venue on the canal. So we'll be in the same place as we were last time in Manchester, and these sessions are really exciting. It's all about presenting, and you're going to be getting some of the tools that you'll be using to present your business to the world. And this is when it really becomes real, when you start presenting it, when you start telling people about it, when you start having a brand, and when you start getting your social media, your website, and you really start raising money for it, is when it really, all the talking stops, all the theory stops, and you start. So very, very, very exciting. Looking forward to seeing you all in 2 weeks' time, which is going to be great. And that's the entrance to Bridge 5 Mil, in case you didn't remember from last time. Finally, please leave a little bit of feedback. Say, Lucas, you took 10 minutes of my time because it's actually 8:10. Say it was finished too late. Please leave us some feedback. Let us know we've done well. This is the first time we are working with alumni and champions, and it's a privilege for me to be able to work with Mariam and Aruba. And I think it's working really well, them delivering, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. I'd love to be able to show Fred and Charlie and everyone else at Turn, and also the guys at Resolve CSC. So please give us some feedback, say what you liked, say what you didn't like, say where we can go better, say what you think's great and don't change. And thank you so much for the extra 10 minutes. Have a lovely Wednesday evening, and thank you once again, Aruba. Brilliant workshop. Good night, everybody.
Thank you
Good
very much.
night.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.